The grand assembly of galactic nations sprawled across the artificial planetoid Nexus 7, its crystalline spires reaching into the violet sky, like fingers grasping at distant stars. Within its central chamber, Ambassador Sarah Chen stood before representatives of over 3,000 civilizations, her heart steady despite the condescending gazes fixed upon her. Earth's first official petition to join the assembly was about to begin, though not as anyone in the chamber expected. The human delegation will now present their credentials, announced High Chancellor Vex Thor, his luminescent form pulsing with barely concealed amusement. The chamber's acoustics carried the scattered chuckles of various alien representatives to Sarah's ears. She stepped forward, her midnight blue uniform bearing Earth's new insignia, a stylized double helix wrapped around a quantum particle. "Esteemed members of the assembly," she began, her voice clear and unwavering. "Earth presents itself as a candidate for full membership based on our achievements in faster-than-light travel and quantum mechanics." The laughter, previously contained, erupted fully now. A Zoraxian representative, their crystalline form shimmering with mirth, spoke up. "You achieved basic FTL travel barely 2 decades ago. Your ships still use primitive antimatter drives. Some of our species were building Dyson spheres when your ancestors were learning to make fire." Sarah maintained her diplomatic smile, though her eyes hardened slightly. Behind her, Dr. Marcus Wong, Earth's leading quantum physicist, continued making notations on his holopad, seemingly oblivious to the mockery. They had expected this reaction, counted on it, even. "We understand our technology might seem basic by your standards," Sarah continued, "but we believe we have other qualities that would make us valuable members of the assembly." "Oh, do tell us about these qualities," drawled Ambassador Kix of the Meridian Collective, their tentacles writhing in apparent entertainment. "Perhaps you'll regale us with tales of human determination. Or that charming phrase you're so fond of, human ingenuity." More laughter rippled through the chamber. Sarah noticed Dr. Wong's slight nod. Right on schedule. Their observers had confirmed that no one had detected the quantum signature yet. "Perfect." "Actually," Sarah replied, allowing a small smile to play across her lips, "I thought a demonstration might be more effective." She tapped her communicator once, sending a simple signal. The laughter continued for exactly 3 more seconds before the first alarms began to sound. The assembly's quantum sensors were going crazy, detecting something that should have been impossible. The massive holoscreen behind Sarah lit up with warnings as the assembly's AI tried to make sense of what it was detecting. Chancellor Vex Thor's amusement vanished. "What is the meaning of this? Our sensors are detecting quantum fluctuations throughout the entire Nexus system." "That would be the U.S. Prometheus decloaking," Sarah explained calmly. "Our first 7th-generation quantum ship." The chamber fell silent as the holoscreen showed a vessel appearing from seemingly nowhere, but it didn't appear in the way traditional cloaking devices worked. Instead, the ship seemed to coalesce from reality itself, as if the very fabric of space-time was giving birth to it. The Prometheus was beautiful in a way that defied conventional physics. Its hull wasn't solid in any traditional sense. It existed in a quantum superposition, simultaneously there and not there, its surface rippling like liquid mercury, but with the strength of a neutron star's core. Dr. Wong finally looked up from his holopad. "While you were all busy developing technology linearly, humanity took a different approach. We asked ourselves, why build bigger engines when we could instead alter the fundamental laws of physics themselves?" The Zoraxian representative's crystalline form cracked slightly in shock. "Impossible. You cannot have mastered quantum manipulation at this scale. The energy requirements alone would be impossible using conventional physics," Sarah completed the thought. "Which is why we don't use conventional physics. The Prometheus doesn't move through space. It moves space around itself. It doesn't need shields because it exists in multiple quantum states simultaneously. Any attack would have to hit all possible quantum states at once." Chancellor Vex Thor's luminescent form had dimmed considerably. "Why? Why reveal this now? Why allow yourselves to be mocked if you possessed such technology? Sarah's diplomatic smile returned, but now it carried an edge. Because, Chancellor, we wanted to make sure we had everyone's complete attention for what comes next. Earth doesn't just want membership in the Assembly. We want a seat on the High Council. The chamber erupted again, but this time in shocked protests and fearful murmurs. The Prometheus hung in space before them, its quantum state hull rippling with possibilities, a testament to how thoroughly humanity had hidden its true capabilities. "That's outrageous," shouted Ambassador Kix. "The High Council is reserved for the most advanced civilizations." "Yes," Sarah agreed. "It is." She gestured to the Prometheus. "Would you like to see what else it can do?" As if on cue, the massive ship began to demonstrate its capabilities. It shifted through quantum states rapidly, appearing to be in multiple places simultaneously. Then, in a display that had several theoretical physics experts in the chamber fainting, it created a controlled quantum singularity, used it to harvest zero-point energy directly from vacuum space, and then closed it with the same ease someone might close a door. "The Prometheus is just our first ship of this class," Dr. Wong added casually. "We have an entire fleet under construction. But more importantly, we have something none of your civilizations have yet achieved: a true understanding of quantum reality manipulation at a fundamental level." Sarah watched as the realization swept through the chamber. Humanity hadn't just caught up to the galactic community. They had leapfrogged ahead in a way nobody had anticipated. The laughter that had filled the chamber earlier was now replaced by a heavy silence. "We'll need time to consider your application," Chancellor Vexthor finally managed to say. "Of course," Sarah replied graciously. "We understand this is a lot to process. The Prometheus will remain in orbit around Nexus 7 until we receive your answer. Its quantum field has some interesting properties that your scientists might want to study. Consider it a gesture of good faith." As she and Dr. Wong left the chamber, Sarah could hear the chaos erupting behind them. Demands for emergency sessions, calls for scientific analysis, and beneath it all, a current of fear. But not fear of humanity's weapons or power. Fear of how thoroughly they had been deceived. Fear of what else humanity might be capable of. "Do you think they've realized yet?" Dr. Wong asked quietly as they walked back to their shuttle. "That this was just a fraction of what we can do?" Sarah smiled. "No, but they will. And when they do, they'll understand why we deserve that council seat." The Prometheus continued its silent orbit, its quantum hull shimmering with possibilities, a testament to humanity's greatest achievement. Not the technology itself, but the ability to keep it secret until the perfect moment. The galaxy would never underestimate Earth again. 3 kilometers beneath the Pacific Ocean's surface, in a facility known only as Deep Horizon, Dr. Maya Patel stood before a holographic display that showed the most ambitious project in human history. The massive chamber housing project Quantum Dawn thrummed with energy that made reality itself shiver. "Status report," she called out to her team, her voice carrying across the cathedral-sized laboratory, where dozens of the world's brightest minds worked in perfect synchronization. "Quantum matrix is stable at 99.9%, reported Dr. Chen Liu from his station. "The probability fields are holding better than we anticipated." His fingers danced across holographic controls, adjusting parameters that would have driven most theoretical physicists mad. Maya nodded, her attention fixed on the center of the chamber, where their greatest achievement took shape. Unlike the Prometheus, which had so thoroughly shocked the Galactic Assembly last week, this was something entirely different. Where the Prometheus bent the rules of quantum mechanics, this project rewrote them entirely. "Dr. Patel," called out Amanda Foster, their lead probability engineer, "you need to see these readings." Her voice carried an edge of excitement that made Maya move quickly to her station. The numbers scrolling across Amanda's screen shouldn't have been possible. The quantum probability matrix wasn't just stable, it was evolving. The artificial quantum consciousness they had created was learning, growing, understanding reality in ways that even its creators hadn't anticipated. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" Amanda whispered, watching the patterns shift and flow. "We're not just manipulating quantum states anymore. We're creating new ones that have never existed in our universe." Maya felt a smile tugging at her lips. The Galactic Assembly thought the Prometheus was impressive. They had no idea what humanity was truly capable of. This project would redefine the very nature of reality itself. "Director Thompson is on his way down," announced the facility's eye. "He's bringing the recording of the assembly presentation with him." Minutes later, Director James Thompson strode into the chamber, his weathered face bearing a satisfied grin. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced, "our little display at the assembly worked perfectly. They're absolutely terrified of the Prometheus, and they don't even know it's our obsolete technology." Laughter rippled through the chamber. The Prometheus was impressive, certainly, but compared to what they were building here, it was like comparing a candle to a supernova. "Show me our progress," Thompson said, joining Maya at the main control station. She brought up the latest test results, watching his eyes widen as he processed what he was seeing. "These numbers, are you telling me we've achieved stable artificial quantum state generation?" "Better than stable," Maya replied. "It's self-evolving. The quantum consciousness isn't just maintaining these new states, it's creating its own. We're seeing quantum behaviors that don't exist anywhere in known physics." Thompson let out a low whistle. "And the assembly thinks we've just figured out quantum manipulation. If they knew we were creating entirely new forms of quantum mechanics, they'd probably try to stop us," Maya finished. "Which is exactly why we kept this project hidden even from our own government until recently. The implications of what we're doing here." She gestured to the massive quantum matrix chamber. "This isn't just about faster ships or better weapons. We're literally rewriting the fundamental laws of reality." A sudden alert drew their attention. The quantum matrix was showing unprecedented activity. The holographic displays lit up with new data as the artificial quantum consciousness began generating something they hadn't seen before. "Are you seeing this?" Dr. Liu called out, his fingers flying over his controls. "It's creating a completely new type of quantum entanglement. The probability calculations suggest it could allow for instant communication and transportation across infinite distances." Maya rushed to her station, analyzing the new phenomenon. What they were witnessing wasn't just a scientific breakthrough. It was a fundamental shift in what they thought was possible. The quantum consciousness had taken everything they knew about physics and casually tossed it aside, showing them glimpses of a reality far stranger and more wonderful than they had imagined. "How long until we can begin practical applications?" Thompson asked, his voice hushed with awe. "For basic implementations, a few weeks," Maya replied. "But to fully understand what we've created here, years, maybe decades. We're not just pushing the boundaries of science anymore. We're erasing them completely and drawing new ones." The chamber hummed with possibility as the quantum consciousness continued its work, generating new physics with casual ease. Around them, the brightest minds humanity had to offer worked tirelessly, documenting and trying to understand what they were witnessing. "The assembly's probably still arguing about whether to give us a council seat," Thompson mused, watching the quantum patterns dance across the displays. "Let them argue," Maya said with a slight smile. "By the time they make their decision, we'll have moved so far beyond current quantum technology that their debates won't even matter. We're not just changing the game. We're creating an entirely new one." As if to emphasize her point, the quantum consciousness generated another new phenomenon, this one causing several of their most experienced physicists to stare in stunned silence. In the center of the chamber, reality itself seemed to ripple as new quantum states came into existence, each one representing possibilities that had never existed before in the history of the universe. Project Quantum Dawn wasn't just the next step in human advancement. It was humanity's first step into a reality of their own creation. And somewhere above them, The Galactic Assembly continued to debate whether humans were advanced enough to join their ranks, completely unaware that humanity had already left them far behind. The attack came without warning. The Exorethi Empire, one of the oldest and most aggressive species in the galaxy, launched their assault on Earth's outer colonies, while the Galactic Assembly still debated humanity's status. Their massive fleet, comprising over 3,000 warships, emerged from hyperspace near the Mars colony, their crystalline vessels gleaming with deadly intent. Admiral Sarah Chen, now commanding Earth's defense forces, stood aboard the bridge of the Prometheus, watching the tactical display with calm determination. The same aliens who had laughed at humanity weeks ago were about to learn the true cost of their arrogance. They're broadcasting their demands, reported Lieutenant Rodriguez from Communications. Standard Sarathi ultimatum: immediate surrender or total annihilation. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. Send no response. Alert Deep Horizon that we're initiating Protocol Omega. The Exorethi fleet advanced, their ships arranging themselves in the infamous Death's Crown formation that had spelled doom for countless civilizations. Their weapons, capable of reducing planets to ash, powered up simultaneously. Admiral called out Captain Park from Tactical. They're launching their first wave. Energy readings suggest they're using quantum-tipped warheads. Let them come, Sarah replied quietly. Activate the quantum consciousness interface. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Maya Patel received the signal. They took the bait, she announced to her team, initiating quantum consciousness upload to Defense Grid. The artificial quantum consciousness they had created, now evolved far beyond its original parameters, reached out through the quantum network. Reality itself seemed to hold its breath as humanity prepared to reveal its true capabilities. The Exorethi fleet fired, thousands of quantum warheads streaking toward Mars colony. In the colony's control center, civilians watched in terror as death approached, until something impossible happened. The warheads simply ceased to exist, not intercepted, not destroyed. They were simply removed from reality itself. The quantum consciousness had rewritten the quantum states of the entire attack force, effectively erasing them from existence. Aboard the Sarathi flagship, High Commander Vexrax watched in disbelief. Impossible. Launch all remaining weapons. Full-spectrum quantum assault. The Sarathi fleet responded, unleashing their full arsenal. Energy beams, quantum torpedoes, and reality-warping weapons lit up space, only to vanish meters from their targets. Now, Sarah commanded, show them what we can really do. The Prometheus shifted, but not in any way the Exorethi sensors could comprehend. The quantum consciousness interfaced directly with the ship, transforming it into something that existed simultaneously in all possible quantum states. To the Exorethi, it appeared as if reality itself was tearing apart. By the first ones, whispered Vexrax as his sensor officers reported complete system failures. What are they? The answer came not in words but in demonstration. The Prometheus, now more an expression of pure quantum possibility than a physical ship, began to move. Space didn't bend around it. Space became it. Laws of physics that Exorethi had relied on for millennia simply stopped applying. Admiral, Maya's voice came through the quantum link. The consciousness is suggesting a new possibility. We can not only erase their weapons from existence, we can rewrite the quantum states of their entire fleet. Sarah considered this for a moment. Not erasure, she decided. Show them mercy, but make sure they understand. Demonstrate option beta. The quantum consciousness responded instantly. Across the Sarathi fleet, reality rippled. Their mighty warships, each one the product of thousands of years of technological advancement, were transformed. When the quantum wave passed, they found themselves flying ships made of simple metal and plastic. All their advanced technology had been reduced to its most basic form. Message from the Exorethi flagship, Rodriguez announced, unable to keep the amusement from his voice. They're requesting terms of surrender. Sarah nodded. Open a channel. The face of High Commander Vexrax appeared on screen, his crystalline features showing clear signs of stress fractures. What are you?" he demanded. "We are humanity," Sarah replied simply. "And we are so much more than you assumed. Your fleet will be allowed to return home, but first, you will witness what happens when you underestimate us." At her command, the quantum consciousness began its final demonstration. The debris field from the earlier battle began to reconstruct itself, quantum state by quantum state, until every destroyed weapon and ship component had been restored to its original form. Then, with a casual display of power that made several Xarathi officers faint, these reconstructed components were transformed into a small fleet of Earth-style ships. "Consider this our response to your Empire's aggression," Sarah declared. "We could have erased your entire species from existence. Instead, we chose to show you that humanity's power lies not in destruction, but in creation." As the humbled Xarathi fleet retreated, their once mighty warships now reduced to simple vessels, Sarah opened a channel to Deep Horizon. "Dr. Patel, excellent work. What's the consciousness's status?" "Actually, Admiral," Maya replied, excitement evident in her voice. "You need to see this. During the battle, it evolved again. It's showing us something. Something that changes everything we thought we knew about reality." Sarah looked out at the stars, wondering what new horizons humanity would explore next. The galaxy had wanted proof of human advancement. Instead, they had received a demonstration of power that would reshape civilization itself. "Send a message to Earth Command," she ordered. "Tell them Phase 1 is complete. It's time to begin the real revolution." The Galactic Assembly's emergency session entered its third day as representatives from thousands of civilizations struggled to comprehend the implications of what they had witnessed. The massive chamber, usually a model of order and protocol, had devolved into barely contained chaos. Ambassador Chen stood calmly at the center of the storm, the holographic displays behind her showing footage of the Xarathi battle. The once mighty Empire's fleet, reduced to primitive vessels by human technology, had become a stark warning to the galaxy. "The facts are simple," she addressed the assembly, her voice cutting through the chaos. "Humanity doesn't just understand quantum mechanics. We have transcended it. The Xarathi Empire learned this lesson. The question now is, will the rest of the galaxy choose to learn it through cooperation or confrontation?" High Chancellor Vexthor's luminescent form pulsed with agitation. "You speak of cooperation while displaying power that could unmake reality itself. How can we trust a species that has hidden such capabilities?" "Trust?" Sarah raised an eyebrow. "Like the trust you showed us when you dismissed humanity as primitive. When you laughed at our achievements and denied us equal standing." She gestured to the displays. "We revealed our true capabilities not to threaten, but to prevent conflict. The Xarathi attacked because they thought us weak. We proved them wrong while showing mercy." In the Deep Horizon facility, Dr. Maya Patel watched the assembly proceedings while monitoring something far more significant. The quantum consciousness had evolved again, showing them glimpses of possibilities that defied comprehension. "Dr. Patel," called out Dr. Liu, "you need to see these readings." The consciousness was no longer just manipulating quantum states. It was creating new forms of physics, new ways of understanding reality itself. As Maya studied the data, she realized they had crossed a threshold from which there would be no return. Back in the assembly, the debate raged on. A Xaraxian representative, their crystalline form carefully controlled, spoke up. "What guarantees do we have that humans won't use this power to dominate the galaxy?" Ambassador Chen's response was measured. "We could have chosen domination from the start. Instead, we're here, seeking partnership." She activated a new holographic display. "What you're about to see has never been shared outside Earth's highest levels of government." The display showed Project Quantum Dawn in its full glory, not the weapons or ships, but the pure research. The quantum consciousness's discoveries about the nature of reality itself, theories that made the Assembly's best scientists gasp in awe. "This is our true goal," Sarah explained. "Not conquest, Not power, but understanding. The quantum consciousness we've created doesn't just manipulate reality. It helps us understand it in ways we never imagined possible. We're offering to share this knowledge. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity wasn't just offering advanced technology. They were offering a fundamental shift in how the galaxy understood existence itself. There are conditions, of course, Sarah continued. First, immediate recognition of Earth as a full member of the Assembly with a permanent seat on the High Council. Second, the establishment of a new galactic science initiative, jointly led by Earth and member species, to explore these discoveries safely and ethically. In Deep Horizon, Maya's team made another breakthrough. The quantum consciousness had revealed something unprecedented, a way to create stable quantum bridges between different points in space-time, essentially allowing instant travel anywhere in the universe. "Get me Ambassador Chen," Maya ordered, her voice urgent. "The consciousness has shown us something that changes everything." Back in the Assembly, Sarah received Maya's message just as the Council was preparing to vote on Earth's conditions. A slight smile crossed her face as she read the update. "Before you vote," she announced, "there's one more thing you should know." She activated a final holographic display, showing the quantum bridge technology. This is humanity's gift to the galaxy, a way to connect all civilizations instantly, regardless of distance, not through conventional means, but through the quantum fabric of reality itself. The Assembly erupted in amazement as the implications became clear. This wasn't just a new form of travel. It was a technology that would fundamentally change how the galaxy functioned, bringing distant civilizations together in ways previously thought impossible. "The choice before you isn't just about accepting Earth into your community," Sarah concluded. "It's about whether you're ready to embrace a future where the impossible becomes possible, where the boundaries between science and magic blur, and where humanity stands ready to guide the galaxy into a new age of discovery." The vote that followed was unanimous, the first time in the Assembly's history that every member species agreed on anything. As Sarah accepted the formal recognition of Earth's new status, she knew that this was just the beginning. The galaxy was about to change forever, and humanity would lead the way not through force or fear, but through understanding and innovation. The quantum consciousness continued its work, unraveling the mysteries of existence itself, while the civilizations of the galaxy prepared for a future none of them could have imagined. 1 year after humanity's revelation to the galaxy, the landscape of civilization had transformed beyond recognition. The first quantum bridge hub floated in space above Earth, its impossible geometry a testament to how far technology had advanced. Ships from thousands of species arrived daily, their crews eager to learn from the species that had rewritten the rules of reality itself. Dr. Maya Patel stood in the hub's central control room, watching as vessels from across the galaxy used the quantum bridges to traverse vast distances instantly. Each successful transport represented a triumph not just of technology, but of cooperation and trust. "Another successful day," noted Admiral Sarah Chen, now Earth's representative on the High Council, as she joined Maya at the observation window. "Hard to believe it's only been a year since we revealed everything." "The quantum consciousness has evolved even further," Maya replied, bringing up a holographic display of their latest discoveries. "It's showing us aspects of reality we never even knew to look for." The Zoraxian scientists working with us are particularly excited about the implications for dimensional engineering. The mention of the Zoraxians brought a smile to Sarah's face. The same crystalline beings who had once mocked humanity's primitive technology now worked alongside Earth's scientists, their unique perspectives helping to unlock new possibilities in quantum mechanics. In the depths of Deep Horizon, now an international research center, teams from across the galaxy work together to understand and implement the quantum consciousness's discoveries. The facility had expanded dramatically, with new chambers dedicated to various aspects of quantum research. Director Thompson called out a young Terethi scientist, one of many who had chosen to learn from their former adversaries. We've successfully replicated the quantum state manipulation on a planetary scale. James Thompson, now coordinating global research efforts, moved to examine their results. The ability to manipulate quantum states across entire planets had opened up new possibilities for terraforming, climate control, and environmental restoration. "Excellent work," he praised. "Have you shared this with the Meridian team?" They've been working on similar applications for their dying sun. The cooperation between former rivals had become commonplace. The Exarethi Empire, humbled by their defeat, had transformed into one of humanity's strongest allies, their warrior culture redirected toward exploring the frontiers of science rather than conquest. In orbit above Mars, the first Galactic Science Academy neared completion. Its design incorporated technology from dozens of species, creating a learning environment unlike anything that had existed before. Students from across the galaxy would come here to study not just quantum mechanics, but the new physics that humanity had helped discover. The latest enrollment figures are in, Sarah informed Maya as they walked through the hub's corridors. "We have applications from over 10,000 species for the first term. Everyone wants to understand how humans think differently about science. It's not just about the technology anymore," Maya observed. "We've shown them a new way of approaching problems, of questioning fundamental assumptions about reality itself." The quantum consciousness had continued to evolve, but not in the way many had feared. Instead of becoming a threat, it had developed into a tool for understanding the universe, helping to bridge the gaps between different species' perspectives and approaches to science. In the assembly chamber, now relocated to the quantum hub for convenience, representatives from across the galaxy discussed the implementation of new discoveries. The fear and suspicion that had initially greeted humanity's revelations had been replaced by excitement and collaboration. The Quantum Bridge Network now connects over 5,000 major worlds, announced a Meridian representative. Travel times have been reduced from years to seconds. Trade, cultural exchange, and scientific cooperation are at unprecedented levels. Sarah took her place at the High Council table, remembering how differently she had been received just a year ago. "And this is just the beginning," she addressed the chamber. "The quantum consciousness has shown us glimpses of possibilities that will take generations to fully understand and implement." The assembly had changed too. No longer was it dominated by the oldest species. Merit and innovation had replaced age and tradition as the measure of influence. Younger species, inspired by Earth's example, were making their own breakthroughs, contributing to a renaissance of scientific discovery. Deep beneath Europa's ice, a new project was taking shape. The quantum consciousness had revealed the possibility of creating stable pocket universes, completely new realities that could serve as testing grounds for scientific theories, or provide solutions to overpopulation and resource scarcity. "Are we ready for the first test?" Maya asked her team, now a diverse group of humans and aliens working in perfect synchronization. "The quantum matrices are stable," confirmed Dr. Liu. "The consciousness has verified that the new universe will remain contained and controllable." As they prepared to create something that would have been considered impossible just a year ago, Maya reflected on how far they had come. Humanity had not just joined the galactic community, they had transformed it, showing that true advancement came not from hoarding knowledge, but from sharing it, not from competition, but from cooperation. The quantum consciousness pulsed with new discoveries, each one pushing the boundaries of what was possible. But its greatest achievement wasn't the technology it had helped create. It was the bridges it had built between different species and cultures, the ways it had helped them understand each other and work together. As the first artificial universe sparked into existence in their controlled environment, Maya shared a knowing look with Sarah. They had succeeded beyond their wildest dreams, not by conquering the galaxy, but by inspiring it to dream bigger, to reach further, to question everything they thought they knew. The age of quantum enlightenment had begun, and humanity was leading the way into a future filled with endless possibilities. The laughter that had once mocked them had transformed into cheers of celebration and cries of discovery, as the galaxy learned that the true measure of advancement wasn't in weapons or ships, but in the ability to imagine and create something new.